20 years. I can't even believe it.
Neither can I. I mean, but my face can. You see these braids here?
There's just a little. Just a little. I can't believe it's been 20 years because I really do kind of feel like this, like I was around 16 years old and I was very invested in this rivalry.
Right.
And it was like, it just seems like yesterday to me. And
The most intriguing thing about it all is that nobody on our season ever was competitive with one another. I think we, especially outwardly, I think we were more competitive with ourselves. And so the interesting thing was for us when we went on tour to see everybody, like all of the different sects of fans, so the Kim Lock fans, the Clay fans, the Ruben fans, and so on and so forth. We were all like, okay. Because I guess, they and they probably didn't do it as much after our season because I think what they recognized is that the more familiar we were, the less apt we were to be extremely aggressive with the other competitor, or our reaction to somebody going home was really more like you would if your family member had to go away for a time. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I think they lost a bit of a competitive edge with our season that I think they finally gained back because I think first and second season were the only two seasons that actually lived in a house with one another. After that, I think they moved to apartment living or whatever they did with the contestants. But we actually, like, can you imagine like being at odds with somebody that you have to like
Yeah.
live like, and also, we did things that I don't think were, I don't think they thought, I think they thought they were saving us time, but it ended up making us more like family, like mealtime, right?
Yeah.
Because we were working so much, they didn't like schedule out times for us to like go separately and get the things that we wanted. So they hired a chef. And the
Oh.
chef and the private chef was like an older aunt type of lady, and she would like personalized notes. Hey guys, here's your meal. You guys all sit down and eat together, and we would
Yeah.
because we all thought like that she was a part of the staff too,
Right.
so we couldn't really distinguish like whether or not it was like so, and it ended up being where we had this huge like family spirit, and the competitive part completely died, and we were all just singing for ourselves, like happy to be a part of the show. I know you didn't ask all those questions, but that kind of took me down a rabbit hole a bit.
No, I mean that's the thing is it was like American Idol, the first season nobody knew what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody really like were there was a curiosity, but there
Mm-hmm.
wasn't, like I said, this investment.
Mm-hmm.
And then your season happened
Mm-hmm.
and it just exploded. And I absolutely could see that you guys were family.
Yeah.
And to see you and Clay to
Mm-hmm.
this day, have this friendship. And you guys just always back then and now just look like you guys have such a great time together.
Well, it's I think because Clay and I are the ones that were at the end, we have the ability and the marketability to go out and tour with one another.
Right.
But like I'll give you an example. For Ricky Smith's homegoing service, we were all at the service together, and it was like we had never missed a beat because we have a text thread with us, the top 12 of us to this day. Like we still this like we have everybody's kids photos, like all that. We're on here constantly with one another
Yeah.
all the time. So it's really not like, and it's weird too because when we went to the finale, I can't remember whose finale it was, but I think it was Clay, myself, and Kimberly Locke were there together, and we were all like huddled up in the corner And I think we asked the other people, like, so when's the last time y'all seen each other? And they were like, yeah, this is like our first time even talking since the show. This was like people from other seasons. We were like, man, that's weird because we talk all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I don't know how you can attribute like if it was just because it was so new, like you said, you guys lived together, you guys had it just your season was so impactful and that group was so impactful that I went to your tour of the show. I was there. Yeah. Like I was, I loved every single one of you. And I still follow you guys. I just find it's very interesting because it is very different today. I feel like there is a strong rivalry. There seems to be a buildup of this drama, and they try and make it that way. And we see, and connect with you guys more. I think that they need to learn something from you guys, that family.
I think that especially with where our country is now, it will probably be a lot more difficult for them to have a group of adults in a house together right now.
Sure.
I just think it would be more. I think it's easier for them, like they're able to control every situation. Like they couldn't with our season. There was like a bond, and there was also things that they had to just acquiesce to. Like we were 20. We only had one minor in the house, and that was Carmen Rasmussen, right? Yeah. And the rest of us were all like came to the show with our own apartments, own houses, own everything. Mm-hmm. And so we brought that spirit to our home. So it was like, I think they kind of were just like, you know what, let's just give them the parameters of what we need them not to do. And then, because at first, and Clay and I talk about this all the time, like how it was weird everywhere we go, like all the producers be like, all right, kids, okay, kids. And we'd be like, y'all know we're grown. Right? I just sent that check y'all gave me to pay the rent that I have here.
Right, babies.
All right, kiddos, let's.
I can see that. Well, like I said, since then I've seen, so many progression like for your career, but like in away from music, your work with charity work and what does that mean to you? I mean,
well, first of all, I wanted my philanthropic work to be authentic. After American Idol, I grew up in a home where my parents were philanthropic. So I saw my mom doing those, working with Sickle Cell Foundation and other things that she did with education. And so I wanted my philanthropic work to kind of match the way I was raised. And so for me, what seems to always take a backseat first in our education system is arts education. No matter where you go in the world, the first thing they want to do is cut music, theater, band. And this is coming from an ex-athlete, you know what I mean? Which is something that will never get cut, right? And I thought that it would be important for my foundation to try to be a supplement to the music programs in the city that I grew up in. Like it was just important to me. And then we also started to, which ended up being the largest breadth of our work, was giving scholarships to young people that wanted to major in music in college, which, a lot of times they don't have. Again, I went to college on a full scholarship because I played sports. I just so happened to be a music major. Well, most people that are music majors, they may get like a $500 stipend, you know what I mean, or something, but there's nothing to really help them or their parents with the amount of monies that it costs, especially in vocal music ed, to finish school. So I just, I tried to be helpful. in that respect. I knew how difficult it was for my parents after I decided I didn't want to play football anymore. And I just wanted to focus on my studies. And, even though I was on choir scholarship, it was never enough. And we made it work. And I thought that somebody like me coming in and doing that would just be helpful.
That's awesome. Just so awesome. And obviously American Idol gave you that platform to grow with these ambitions. I kind of wanted to go, and I know like because I was going to have Clay on here too, but me and you could have fun together with this.
Sure.
So, like I said, I was thinking about all these before this interview, all these things that have occurred during that time. And one of them is my sister had a pillowcase that said "Waken to Aiken." And she had a teddy bear named Ruben. Now, granted, she was 11, but these were, you guys became, dare I say, sex symbols overnight. It was like this little show. I remember you being on the front of magazines and people cutting, and my sister, one of them, and perhaps me as well, like cutting out things and putting it on our walls and stuff.
Right.
I would assume that your fans, even today, have been very devoted. What has been the weirdest thing that you have received from a fan?
You know what? My fans are really not that odd. You know what I mean? Like I get and I think that's because of the energy that I put out. You know what I mean? So I get like a lot of like Southern people that are from the South and move elsewhere, like are trying to bring food or like just things that they think would make me feel like I'm at home. I've never really had very many negative encounters with my family. I mean, of course, people test the boundaries on personal space.
For sure.
Always. I do remember one story that is hilarious. One of Clay's most enthusiastic fans, to say the least, I mean, she was extremely enthusiastic. And we were about to perform at the American Music Awards. Mm-hmm. And we've seen this lady everywhere. Yeah. And when I mean she was enthusiastic about Mr. Aiken. So we've seen her everywhere. And I've never been afraid for my friend like I was the day that this lady, we were in like one of the most secure venues in the world. Like, when you're in a room where Beyonce and Mariah and all these people are going to be there, like, like the security is like top notch. We're singing our song and it's like Jason walked straight down the middle of the aisle to like, and nobody stopped her, nobody touched her, So is anybody going to do anything right now? And Clay was paralyzed, like he couldn't move.
I mean, and I think that's the interesting thing is that it's away from just fanhood. There seems to be fanatics, and
I mean that's the root word of the fan is the root word of fanatic. So I mean,
and you guys had some. I mean, and I feel like even today, like when your show was announced, coming to, I'm going to be, this is for Cerritos, and so, yes. It was announced, and then you just like see all the fans that are just, this means so much to them. And what venue is that? Is that let me see. It's sort of Orange County in LA.
No. I'm trying to make sure it's the Cerritos venue that I'm familiar with.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's been around forever. You probably have.
What's the date on it? You know the date?
Yes, I do. It is November.
That's what I'm November
17th.
Yeah, Cerritos Center for the Performing Arts. Yes, I come there every year.
You do?
with
Oh,
Colors of Christmas.
yes. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
I
That's
love that venue. The
right.
staff is amazing. Like everybody there is like absolute. I can't wait. I'm
Yes.
glad. Yeah,
Yeah. So you'll be there soon. So that's
yeah,
good. Weather's going to be great.
yeah.
So what is your audience going to experience for this 20-year?
Listen, the difficult thing to do when you're doing a show like this, when it's like two people merged together and trying to appease both cross section of fans, is to not give them what they would normally expect at a Ruben show or a Clay Aiken show. We just we've tried to put together a body of music that is representative of the reason why people know who we are, and that's American Idol. And so what that show did was open us up to a lot of songwriters and producers that we probably had heard, but not really personally know. I'm a little different than most of the contestants because I was a music nerd. So a lot of times I was more excited where Clay would be like, now who are we going to see right now? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
this is not that he knew the songs, he just didn't know the people behind the songs. I'm one of those people that knew the people that wrote the music. So this show is just really us kind of giving you a behind the scenes view of what we experienced and how these songs kind of shaped what you guys saw on television 20 years ago. Because honestly, the easiest thing for us to do was for me to get on stage and just sing an hour worth of my music and him to sing an hour's worth of his music, and then we'd say, all right, God bless you guys, good night. That's simple. Like the hardest thing for us to do is to really do a show together. Like, and so this show is not a Ruben show or a Clay show. It's Ruben and Clay together, in a collaboration, and the show reflects that the whole evening.
Okay. That's what I was wondering if you guys were going to have a little separation there or and then just do like a duet or something. So
No,
you guys are
it's a Ruben and Clay show.
wow. Okay. Well, I know that's something that you personally did was you brought the classics forward. So Luther Vandross was introduced to people like my sister that at 11 years old was diving into that music. Was that just something that you grew up with, or did you dive yourself and start kind of singing along and
Listen, it's funny, like the things that are poured into you oftentimes come out at times when you you least expect it, right? Because I will, as a kid, my mom was the biggest Luther Vandross fan. My mom was like the American Idol fans were for us, but with Luther Vandross. She went to every concert, she had every record, like she was a fan. You feel what I'm saying? And I, because of that, was not the biggest Luther Vandross fan because
mom?
I didn't, it was my mom's thing. I didn't really understand it. And it wasn't until I was maybe 12 or 13 when I started singing at weddings and stuff and getting paid for it. And everybody was asking for his music. Like every wedding I would do, like somebody was like, I want Here and Now, I want this song. So his music became a part of my like working material where I was able to like support myself in the spring and summer without having to ask mama for gas money.
Right.
So I ended up just learning his songs. And so I have no idea why Never Too Much is the first song I decided to sing for my first audition on American Idol. It's tempoed. It's like it's a very bad choice of audition songs. Like generally, especially somebody like me that's a voice major, like you want a mid tempo or a slow song to show your range.
Yeah.
Right? But I go in the room and decide, like I see all these people singing these ballads and they're getting cut. And this is
Yeah.
before this is rounds before I get a chance to be in the room with Randy, Paul, and Simon, because it's like steps to that.
Yeah.
So
Right.
rounds before that. And I'm seeing everybody, ballad after ballad after ballad, get cut. No, 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 no. And I was sitting there like, dang it. all right, what am I going to sing? And as soon as I got to the podium to sing, it just came to my mind, never too much. And I sung an up-tempo song for Nigel Lithgow,
Uh,
Ken, and some other producer. These guys ended up being like, they were executive producers. They were my first audition.
wow.
And I made it through.
Wow.
And
Wow.
so from then on, I was just like, you know what, this Luther thing might be something for me. So yeah,
So what would have been your song, do you think, or at
I
that
think I was gonna sing like "A Change Is Gonna Come" or something by
Oh,
Sam Cooke. Like
yeah.
in my mind, it was like that's what I should sing, and I
Right.
kept hearing people sing slow songs, and so I kind of got scared into doing something different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, Luther definitely has played a really big role since for you because that seems to be everyone gravitates towards hearing your renditions. And is that something that even at this show that you and Clay do together?
Well, I do some of the renditions that I do of Luther Vandross in this show, and you know, it just goes to my manager Cedric worked for and with Luther Vandross for years, and so he would always just tell me like, it's you're the only person that could do it, and I always was like, I'm gonna do my own thing, I don't want to, and this, a couple of years ago when I decided to do the Ruben Sings Luther tribute show, it just blossomed into something I didn't expect it to ever be what it became. And so I would be remiss if I didn't do a portion of that concert inside of the thing that Clay and I do together.
Right. Well, I have to know, so with fame comes money.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what was the best or worst purchase you made when you made it?
The best purchase I made would have to have been a car for my mom, and the worst purchase I made had to be some kind of jewelry. You know,
just because you can.
yeah, like it was just, and it wasn't even that like crazy amount of purchase. It's like do you really need that?
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it takes a while, because what happens is when people get into the inner child in you comes out when you're able to kind of splurge on things that you wouldn't have normally been able to splurge on. And I think that I'm glad it got out of my system early.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because now, like, I mean, my gift to myself are like Nike sweat.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean,
So you stay
and Clay
grounded.
and Clay on the other hand is always, the same. Like his stuff with himself is now like tech stuff. So he has all of like, if there's anything camera wise or computer wise that you need to know,
Yeah.
Clay can show you how to do it for sure.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, you have had 20 years now in the spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want people to know about you today?
I want people to know that I am a person that is extremely blessed. I am a person that is filled with gratitude, not just because I get to do a job that I love, but because people gave me the opportunity to do the job that I love to do. And I understand that in a way that I don't think a lot of, or maybe they do, but um I don't it's very hard for me not to know that my success comes directly from people having sat down and voted for me and decided that I was the person that they wanted to choose to give an opportunity to. And so for me, I'm just extremely thankful. I live in gratitude every day. And I'm just, I look forward to continuing to grow and evolve and do something that I love.
Love it. Love it. Well, like I said, it's been such an honor. I'm so excited that you're coming back here. I hope to meet you. I'd love to give the Velvet Teddy Bear a hug. I know you're probably tired of hearing that. But thank you, thank you, thank you so
You're very
much,
welcome.
Ruben. And I will
Thank
see
you.
you in what? A month,
Okay.
right?
Have a
Thank
good one.
you too. All
Bye
right.
bye.